Here are 6 detrimental mistakes that I see new and existing business owners make when operating their business under an LLC. The first is that they're operating their LLC without an operating agreement. An operating agreement is required by law in some states, and even if it's not required by law in your state, it's still strongly recommended because it will avoid the state's LLC laws from automatically applying to your business. And if you have partners, it's even more important because it's going to essentially act as a partnership agreement to make sure that all of the partners are on the same page. The second mistake is not having an EIN number for your business, which is required if you have employees. And even if you don't have employees, it's strongly recommended so that you don't have to use your social security number everywhere. The third mistake is choosing to have your LLC taxed as an S corporation too soon and before your LLC is making enough money. There's a lot of hype out there about having your LLC taxed as an S corporation, but really this only becomes beneficial once your LLC is making at least $60,000 in profit, because the downside is that if it's not making that much money, then the costs to have an S corporation are going to outweigh the benefits. When you have an S corporation election, you can expect to have to pay an accountant at least $2,000 or $3,000 a year to manage it for you. And generally, the benefits are not outweighed by the downsides unless your business is making $60,000 in profit. The fourth mistake is not having a separate business bank account for the LLC. If you don't have a separate business bank account, then you risk having the LLC protections being removed because ultimately you're going to commingle personal with business expenses. The fifth mistake is not titling business assets in the name of the LLC. This could include property, machinery, inventory, and things of that nature. Determining what assets to title in the name of the LLC requires a pretty thorough analysis, and you might not want to do it with all of your assets. The sixth, which I see all too often, and it gets people into a very messy financial or legal situation, is not signing business-related contracts in the name of the LLC. The purpose of having an LLC is to provide yourself with personal liability protections, and those protections might not be available to you if you sign various contracts related to your business in your name rather than the LLC's name. It might sound unlikely, but the reality is there's a lot of case law proving that if you sign a business-related contract personally, then you could be personally held liable for the obligations under that contract. So when signing contracts, you'll want to make it very clear to the other party that your LLC is the one signing the contract.